So moving from epidemiology to functioning, paper 3 was a methodological paper that investigated the content validity of two commonly used instruments in spinal cord injury rehabilitation. The one measure is currently in use in the South African rehabilitation arena and is called the Rehabilitation Outcome Levels Measure. This is a generic measure that has been developed in 1995 and that is prior to the endorsement of the International Classification of Functioning Disability and Health, that is the ICF, as the common language to describe health, functioning, and disability. And we compared the generic measure to a standardized measure that is currently not used in the South African rehabilitation field, and that is called the Spinal Cord Independence Measure. We wanted to know the extent to which the items of these measures can be mapped towards the ICF and the core sets that has been specifically developed from the ICF but that contains prototypical aspects for the spinal cord injury population. How did we do this? We asked two experts in rehabilitation that's familiar with the nomenclature and the taxonomy of the ICF, and we asked them to look at the items and see whether it fitted our current conception of health and disability, that is the ICF. So these experts looked at the items and mapped it to a specific category within the ICF and thereafter to the core set. What did we find? We found that certain items of the generic measure, the Rehabilitation Outcome Levels Measure, were not conceptualized within the ICF, and most of the items were linked to second level categories. Those are broader concepts within the framework. Concerning the spinal cord independence measure, all of the 19 items were linked to a specific category of the ICF, so it was fully conceptualized within our current way of understanding health and functioning, and most of the items were linked to third level categories. Thereafter, we wanted to see to what extent these measures capture the relevant aspects for the spinal cord injury population. We found that the Rehabilitation Outcome Levels Measure covered 4 of the 11 body structures and function categories and only 5 of the activity and participation categories, whereas the Spinal Cord Independence Measure covered all 9 of the activity and participation categories within the core set. We also found that both of the instruments did not cover any environmental factors. So what can we conclude from this? We conclude that the current generic measure in South Africa has some shortcomings. It either needs revision or we need to adopt standardized measures such as the Spinal Cord Independence Measure. And we conclude that clinicians should be aware of the content of measures in order to package a set of measures that comprehensively assess functioning.